And hello, welcome back to another episode of After the Three Count podcast. As I said before, you have your humble hosts here, Ashley and Chase. And like I also said before, do not judge us for our attire because we filmed 2 episodes in one day.
We do own more than one set of clothes. Yes.
I mean,
Maybe.
in this economy.
Let me flip this inside out real quick. Then it's clean.
No, but yeah, so last week, or 5 minutes ago, had a lot of talking points and stuff. And plus, you and I, we just get going. Next thing you know, 45 minutes ago. And I want to make these a little more digestible for people. But I just had so much stuff I wanted to talk about. And we're just going to start right out the gate. The Wrestler's New Year. WrestleMania is coming up. WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. And I'm like, we can't fit all this in one episode, so we're just going to start talking about that. April 19th and 20th, Las Vegas, WrestleMania 41. My God, the card. So stacked.
It is.
And I am so stoked for it. Because I know, it's 50-50 on whether or not people like this or not, but the heel turn on Cena was just chef's kiss. And so you got John Cena going against Cody Rhodes. Obviously, they're going to headline for the night. There's no way they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I cannot wait to see that. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who pretend to know what they're talking about when they're like, oh, that's not going to be good. Cena's old, da-da-da. And I'm like, have you seen that man's body?
Dude, Cena is the man, and he knows how to tell a story. And I guarantee you from the first bell to the last bell, we're all going to be locked in and paying attention to every single thing they do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then based on the last airing, which I love that WWE's on Netflix now, by the way.
Yeah.
I love that. You got CM Punk, Roman Reigns. That's obviously going to be added soon. If it hasn't already, don't come for me. And especially because when you see, God, why is his name escaping me right now?
Rollin, who are you thinking of?
His old manager.
Heyman?
Yes, God, Paul Heyman. Anyway, when you see Paul Heyman in that ring checking on Punk, it's like, oh, shit. And then Roman just went in there and just tore shit up. I'm like, oh, this is going to be so good. Ain't no way that they're not added to it. My personal favorite, I'm hella excited about Dwayne Johnson. I mean, that's one of my guys. Like, that is one of the few people I know if I met in person, I would probably be starstruck. And it takes a lot for me to do that. I've met quite a few interesting people. But I know they've been involving him in a build-up, and he's got to be featured in some way. I mean, people didn't think he was going to have anything to do with the last one, and he did. And so it's like, come on, just give it to us, please.
And it makes you wonder if it's going to be some sort of involvement with Cena. You know, the way that whole turn happened. That's what I would imagine.
Right.
But also, I don't know.
You never know these days, especially with the way that Triple H is running things now. Like, I love it. Oh, my God. I love it so much. Like, you would think, like, after McMahon had to step down, you would think, oh, not much is going to change, whatever. Like, do you see who's in charge now? Like, everything changed. Like, for the better.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, especially when it comes to the breaks and the time off that these wrestlers can get now. They can actually now go home for the holidays and spend time with their families instead of being slaves to the industry. Like, it's changing for the better so far. Well, once TV, it's changing for the better. I have completely different opinions about what's still going on the lower levels.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother discussion in itself. But yeah, I'm digging.
I want to say Raw did they show, was it like Raw highlights for the year? They didn't go live because it was either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and they didn't go live.
Right.
And, you know, that was the first time, and I don't know how long. I mean, just a year prior to that. If Monday fell on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, well, you would have a Christmas Eve or Christmas Day edition of Raw.
Right.
And so, you know, how cool was it that the talent actually got to go home and spend that with family and loved ones? And as much as I'm sure it is cool to be featured on those episodes, those holiday episodes, I bet you it's even cooler to, you know, wake up and be in your own bed and see your family on the holidays. And
Right.
like, I can't imagine, as much time, we complain about how much we're gone and we complain about how busy we are.
And we have control over our schedules.
We do, yeah. And so, I'm sure that was a huge break, especially for those guys who have been a slave to the grind for so long and have missed so many different holidays to finally be able to go home and do that. Like, I'm sure that was so rewarding to them.
I would love to hear. I doubt you'd get an honest opinion, but I would love to hear their honest opinion of how much has changed on their ends since the transition of the new ownership. It'd be very interesting to see that. Man, freaking WWE, bro. All right, so you got Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE champion. It's gonna be versus John Cena. Got Gunther. Got Gunther going against Jey Uso. Oh shit, I'm gonna love that one too.
I love Gunther, dude. I love Gunther. So I was supposed to go spend some time with him in Germany.
Really?
Yeah, I was supposed to go over there. I was going to go train for a month for WXW in Germany.
What
I
happened?
was scheduled to leave November of 16. I tore my ACL August of 16. And so my tag partner, Jackson Stone, he still went. And which,
Jackson,
I mean, of course,
Stone,
he should have, he went and did it. And he ended up getting booked on several of the shows his first time over there, and then they brought him back, a second time. So, and I met him for the first time. This would be WrestleMania weekend, probably 2018. It was New Orleans, and I met him for the first time. And Walter is what I knew him by at the time, and it was cool to have him approach me and say, "Oh, Bam Bam," and Jackson and Jackson was like, "Dude, I told you I talked about you over there." And
clearly,
yeah, and so it was just cool to have him come up to me and shake my hand, and he was so nice and so cool. So to see that the run that he's gotten in WWE is amazing to me because they wanted him for a while, and he turned them down.
Really?
Yeah, he was happy with where he was at in Germany.
Understandable.
He, was doing his own thing. He was close to family. Why would he want to pick up and go?
That's true. And also, never mind the freaking physical transformation that man went under.
Oh,
my
dude.
God.
And you look amazing now. At one point, I was way overweight, and if you want to be a top talent, you have to look like a top talent. And I'm all for body positivity and, you should feel good in your skin. But also, dude, damn it, we are wrestlers. We are professional wrestlers. We are professional athletes.
It's nothing personal. You got to look the part.
Now, does that mean everybody has to have ripped six-pack abs? No. Should you look like you could win a bar fight? Absolutely.
At least a bar fight.
Yes, absolutely. And some of these guys in the locker rooms, I don't think they could fight their way out of a wet paper sack. But I
love that.
Yeah, look at everybody. Look at everybody who is on the main roster, and if you were to see them in a bar fight, it'd be very believable. And if they won, I would 100% believe it.
Right.
Not on the independent circuit. Most of these kids look like they couldn't even get into a bar.
Now I'm just imagining wrestlers in a freaking bar fight.
Go hang out with Chase Stevens.
Oh, God. No, okay.
Love that guy to death,
Tempting. Man. I just like seeing chaos. I don't like being a part of chaos. I just like watching it unfold. Oh gosh, but yeah, I'm really excited about that one because obviously the skill's there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, something about Jey Uso, man. I love the way he works. He's really got that connection with the crowd.
He does.
And not a lot of people have that. Like, he literally gets so many people with just a shake of his hand. It's just like, man.
And like once he had that, I was like, oh, he's set.
Yep.
Like once you make that connection, you're done. Like you're in a good, positive way. Like you signed, sealed, delivered, done.
Absolutely.
Like you made that connection. When you can get people to chant along with your theme song, even the Rollins, the whoa, like Dude, that is so cool. And, even in like AEW with Jericho, they would kill his music and the
Yep.
crowd just kept going along with
Yep.
the song. Like,
That was awesome.
And he was a heel. But he made that connection with the audience. And, that's what Jay has done. And that's why he's skyrocketed up to the top.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, merchandise sales don't lie.
No, they don't. Social media and merchandise does not lie.
No, not at all.
All right. Ooh. Of course, I'm going to mention the 2 women's matches that's going to happen. Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of high expectations for this.
Dude, I think they're going to tear it down.
I really think so, but I really hope that Charlotte has that confidence back in her leg. Now, the past couple times I've seen her doing segments and stuff, as someone who's had a fucked up leg multiple times, I can kind of see it in her face. I can kind of see that there's still some hesitation. Understandably so.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's one thing to tear an ACL and come back on an indie circuit, but to tear an ACL and come back on a national WrestleMania return. Like, if anyone deserves it, it's her, obviously.
Of course.
But after seeing Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, that is a very, very high bar to beat.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a high bar to beat. My God, that was cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was so... Everyone in the house that we were at a watch party, everyone was enamored in it. Like, 30 seconds in, we were in it.
Yeah.
And that was a long match, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I have such high expectations because I love Tiffy.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Tiffy time.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing as well.
Dude,
so
they literally strapped a rocket to her back and sent her to the moon. Dude.
And she's handling it so good.
I mean, she looks like a star. She is athletic as hell. Like, yeah, I mean, there's a reason she's where she's at. And there's a reason she's gotten to be where she's at as quickly as she has. And, dude, like, she's amazing. Like, she should go main event WrestleMania.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like, she's insane, dude. Like, it's I love watching her work, and I'm really, really, I mean, like you said, dude, I'm really, really looking forward to that match with Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. I hope everything goes well, but I need it. It's in my veins. I need it. It's like an addiction. And then you've got, side note, I'm so happy that Io Sky is the women's champion. Let me just say that right out the gate. But now you got Io Sky versus Bianca. And did you see the last segment they have where Bianca and Rhea were arguing and Io like slaps them both?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. So you've got Bianca here, Rhea here, and they are going at it. Like they are like in each other's face. Like what? And you've got Io facing hard cam trying to get them to stop. And she's got the belt and she's like, I'm the champion. Come on, stop. And then finally she breaks him, slaps the shit out of Rhea and slaps Bianca. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. It's like, hey, dude, respect me.
Right.
Yeah, good for her. And she is so amazing, too, dude.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I feel like the size difference doesn't maybe quite matter as much in women's wrestling because she is way undersized than a lot of the girls. But, dude, you wouldn't notice it. Like, she is so good, and her personality is so big. Like, I think, kind of similar to how Rey Mysterio was. Like, I think her personality is so much bigger than she is. That, in my eyes, that makes her physically bigger in the ring. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't see her, even though she is undersized, I don't see her going into it, as undersized. And like, dude, Bianca's a badass too.
It's all about how you carry yourself for sure, because you can be the best bitch on the block, but the minute you're in that ring and your shoulders slouch over, like, that
doesn't
charisma,
matter.
You ain't got that charisma. But she definitely has that charisma.
She does.
And so I'm very much looking forward to that as well. But yeah, because like you said, Bianca's also a badass too. And I'm also digging it seems like they're starting to really get more into actual storylines. Because when I saw the emotional back and forth Bianca had with Naomi about Jade, did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm really enjoying this. And again, back to the other side of the coin, so many people hated it. They're like, if I wanted to see this, I'd watch a soap opera. I'm like, bro, what the fuck do you think this is?
Yeah.
This is literally, we are entertainment. Like, you need this.
You have
it is
to
a
have
violent soap opera, my guy.
Yeah, you have to have that emotional connection. And if you don't, then I mean, dude, UFC has ripped off professional wrestling for the last 5-6 years. Like, and if you say any different, then you're just either blind or dumb. Like, look at Colby Covington. I'm not sure how familiar you are with UFC, but Colby Covington was on the brink of getting cut.
Okay.
All of a sudden, he puts on a cowboy hat and he starts wearing MAGA stuff and just becomes the biggest douchebag in the world.
Got a whole new fan base.
And now he does. And if you don't create a character for yourself, even in the fighting world now, you just get kind of swept underneath the table. And it's like, dude, personality sells. You can
really
be
does.
the baddest mofo in the world, but if you don't show any kind of personality, then people aren't really going to care.
Because in athletic competitions or in the wrestling entertainment industry, anyone can do it. Whether or not they can do it better or worse than other people, that's, totally up to them. But it's something that everyone has an equal playing field at. The only difference is your character.
Yeah.
That's why you don't see a lot of the same characters on WWE, NWA, TSW. Everyone is so different. And like the bookers know that too, though. And they'll like, oh man, yeah, you got really good talent, but we already got a crazy bitch on our show. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can't do it. And that's one thing I fear, is that another one drive that I have is to get some more AEW time. And I worry because they kind of already have creepy. They don't have crazy, but they have creepy. And some of the women over there are turning kind of creepy. And so at one of the Monday night practices, I went to Athena and I'm like, I need your opinion on something. Would my character fit in AEW? And because there's a line there, and she said, oh yeah, it absolutely would, for sure. And I'm like, it's not too similar to other people? And she's like, no, it's not. The only thing you would have to worry about is if you remind the people behind the scenes of someone else in a different company. And so I'm like, okay.
But then I get, okay, that makes sense. I kind of understand where she's coming from that.
Because you've got God, I follow her too. I can't even remember her name. But she's the creepy little psycho on NXT. And she's the one that plays with the dolls or whatever. Honestly, I don't even know if she's NXT anymore, if she's main roster. Anyway, she does that gimmick. And I'm so pissed because I did the crazy before she did the crazy. And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so you have her. But then you also have Nikki on the mainstream, who's now doing the creepy. And that's who she said that I need to make sure that I'm not too similar to. And right off the rip, I'm like, physically, I'm very different from her.
Yeah.
But it also comes down to how you carry yourself at the end of the day. So I got to look into that. I got to make sure I'm not too similar to people.
And it could be little small things that you do differently. Like, dude, you could come out with a stray jacket wrapped in chains and you could have two, like, I don't know, almost like police officer bailiffs walk you down to the ring,
which I have,
and they have to take off your stray jacket and take off your muzzle and allow you into the ring. Like, there's just different. You can come up with little things just to make it a little bit more over the top. That, and I don't know, someone could be doing that right now, but I've never seen that before. And if
I've done it a couple times already.
Yeah, well then perfect. That's awesome. Yeah, dude. Like, I don't see that on TV anywhere.
Yeah. No, I have a legit straight jacket that I had custom made, and it has a patient number on it that actually spells my name numerically, Carter.
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
I love that thing so much. It's literally hanging up on my wall like decoration.
Yeah.
One thing I like doing with that too is whenever I do have it with me at shows, I like to use it as a distraction when I'm with the Dark Trinity. So let's say the boys are in there wrestling. I want to interfere. I'll crawl into the ring. I'll drag one of them under. I'll wrap them up in my straitjacket and throw them back out. I've done that like 2 or 3 times, and it's great. Yeah, I love it. But again, I'm just a sucker for the gimmick stuff. What can I say? But yeah, at the end of the day, I got to make sure I'm not too similar to other people, which is another reason why I make it a point, and I'm very proud to be able to incorporate the creepy, psycho, crazy in my actual wrestling.
Yeah.
I have literally been working on contortion stuff. I have been working on my flexibility. I've been, like I mentioned earlier, I'm working on doing weird moves that no one's ever seen before. And I'm incorporating a lot of different things like dance, the interactive art. I'm incorporating so many things outside of wrestling to create new moves, to create new ways to get out of holds, to just make someone go, what the hell? And so whenever I'm looking at that, and I'm like, yeah, you can have a character, you can do all that, but I know once I get that down, ain't nobody else gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're my size doing it, because like normally the shorter, smaller people are doing all the bendy stuff, but if you got a tall, crazy bitch in there doing it, it's like, yo, that's...
Well, and I mean, same thing, like, you know, you could go out there and you could come out, you could have the straight jacket entrance, you could do everything big over the top. And then if you lock up with a girl in chain for 5 minutes, nobody cares.
And literally, you're just another wrestler.
Nobody cares.
You got to be able to carry that character throughout your wrestling.
Exactly. And you
which
don't,
is hard.
on the independent circuit, you really don't see that very much at all. And if you can master that, then you're already 1,000 steps ahead of everyone else.
I swear that's the only reason why people say I'm good. It's because I incorporate my gimmick into my moves, and they're like, yeah, something about you moving in there just makes me really uncomfortable, but it's so cool. And I'm like, I didn't do shit.
Yeah, but and exactly, you kept it simple. Like if you can find little storytelling stuff like that, yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Exactly. So while Vegas has WrestleMania, I hear that there's a more local event coming August 22nd.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, so we're still working out the details on everything, but so August 23rd, we are going to have a TSW taping here at the OC. The night before at the amphitheater in Forney, we are going to have a free event, and it's going to be Forney Mania.
Did you hear that? It's free.
Free event, Forney Mania. We are going to try to pack as many people into this amphitheater as possible. Stoney LaRue was here a couple of weeks ago. They had 2,500 people out there for him. I think we can double that. So it's a free event. Bring anybody, everybody you know. We're going to give on about 3-4 matches. It's going to be a good warm-up event. So that way you guys can come catch us on Friday, and then you can also bring the kids to Saturday to the OC Theater and come check us out as well. But I'm extremely excited. All this has kind of just come together within the last couple of weeks. So I'm super excited to be at the forefront of it, and you know, hopefully we can make this Forney Mania thing a yearly thing. But you know, year one, we're just gonna stick to our plan and see how it goes.
Well, that's what's beautiful about being here at the OC and Forney is that you meet a bunch of people that have those connections to make that impact. Because a lot of people like wrestling more than you would think.
Yeah.
And so when you have the opportunity to put on shows like that, to bring people in who probably have never watched wrestling, you know, you got a lot of kids that have never seen wrestling before, but they're going to go to this free event and they're going to fall in love with it. And that is, you know, you and I have talked about this a long time ago about how we care more about the connection we make with the fans, especially children.
Yeah.
Because it's like that. It's pure innocence.
Yeah.
If they like you, they like you. If they don't, they will tell you they hate you.
Yep, exactly.
And so you have an opportunity to create a core memory for these kids. And it's a beautiful thing because you never know what moment will just change the course of someone's life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're that good, but I'm saying we like to try. And so it really it gets me thinking, what is a pivotal moment in your life or wrestling that has just changed everything?
I would have to say, when I met the guy who I claim trained me, Brett Barnes, I grew up going to a summer workout program at the high school, and it was called Athletes by Barnes, and it was ran by a gentleman named Kenny Barnes and his son Cale Barnes. And Kenny used to always tell us about his older son Brett, who was training down at Booker T's. And I had always been a wrestling fan, but around like 13, 14, I kind of stopped watching it. All my friends weren't watching it anymore, and I started getting more into dirt bikes and girls and all that stuff. So, well, sure enough, the summer before my sophomore year, Brett came and helped us do the training camp. And then he actually ended up getting hired on at our school, and he was my track coach. And my first day of track practice, I sat there and talked to him about wrestling. And he was telling me different stories about how he went and traveled to Spain and tagged with Gangrel, and all this like crazy cool stories. And right then and there, I was like, I think I'm reinterested in this. And I went home for the first time in probably 4 or 5 years and turned on Monday Night Raw. And I literally went back to school the next day and I told him, hey, this is what, this is something I want to do. And, if he would have never came to my school, I wouldn't be a wrestler.
Right.
No. He 100% re-piqued my interest into this sport. And, let's say he just took a coaching job somewhere else.
Right.
I would have never met him.
So many different chances, so many different paths that could go on, but you decided to go to that camp. He decided to teach that camp.
And I'd already been so close to his family for so many years without knowing Brett. So, when I finally did meet Brett, dude, I thought he was a dickhead. I didn't like him. No, he was like hard as hell on us. And, looking back, he just, take no shit.
Right.
Like, you say you can't do this. Yes, you can. Do it. And that was just his personality. And he's, he pushed me so much. I've learned so much, and I learned a lot from him in a very short amount of time because I got to do a lot of one-on-one work with him. So like, psychology and everything. Like I had the psychology down after like a year.
Ooh,
and
okay.
I was like, okay, like that's how it works. It's just, plug and play. And so I figured it all out. But if he would have never came into my life at 16 years old, I have no idea what I'd be doing right now, but I wouldn't be this.
Right.
I can guarantee you that. Yep.
Like, who'd have thought?
God,
it's so crazy how just one small thing can change the your life for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You just veer off on a different path. I mean, I gotta say, the one moment that changed everything for me, and it literally changed everything, was when I was in college and I met my sociology professor. Because, fun fact, I have a bachelor's degree in communication with a minor in sociology. And I met this professor. His name is Dr. Tan, Adrian Tan. And he's the guy who got me involved in wrestling. I think I explained this in one of the earlier podcasts. Actually, I know I did. And so had I not met him, I probably would have still been married to my ex-husband, being miserable and not in a healthy mindset. I don't want to get dark, but it would have been bad.
Yeah.
But having met Adrian, it completely altered the course of my life because he helped me become confident and independent of myself to be able to walk away from my ex-husband, because I didn't realize just how toxic and terrible it was. Because at the time, back in 2018, 2019, this was before the word gaslighting became a thing.
Yeah.
And all the narcissism and stuff. And again, it's always been around, but it's never been a mainstream topic of conversation. And it was in those classes that I started learning that terminology and stuff. And it started clicking to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I married a monster. What the fuck? And so I distinctly remember I was a sad panda one day in class. And after class, Dr. Tan comes up to me. He's like, Ashley, girl, what's wrong? What's going on? And I'm like, look, I got to be honest with you. And because we had developed a relationship really quickly. Like, we both just clicked.
Yeah.
And so I was able to tell him in confidence what was going on. And he just straight up said, are you sure there's something you want to do? And I'm like, yeah, I want to leave him. And he's like, all right, here's the name of a lawyer. I was like,
wow.
Bet.
Wow.
And so he helped me with that. And then, he's the one who got me involved in wrestling. Had I not been involved in wrestling, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah.
And so just one person making an impact on your life can change it for the better. And that ultimately is what I want to do for kids. I want to either give them the confidence to pursue something they never thought they could.
Yeah.
I want to give them the ability to think, man, that could be me one day, to dream big. I want to give them the opportunity to say, hey, she doesn't look like normal people, I guess the way I look is okay.
Yeah.
Like, I love being that inspiration, and I hope I can be that inspiration for a lot of children.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why. I don't even like kids. I don't like children. I don't want children. I was a nanny for 10 years. I'm a hell of a nanny.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't want kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like kids, but I don't like them, but I like them, you know?
I'm the same way. Like, you know, we're at the age now where like a lot of my friends are having kids. And dude, I love their kids to death. One of my best friends, Cody, he has a little girl named Channing. And dude, that little girl has me wrapped around her finger. I would do anything for her. But I get to see her for a few hours. And then we get to go our separate ways.
Yes, you can give them back.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat with you on that. Like, you know, I was always, I literally weigh what I weigh right now in 6th grade, and I was about 5, 6, maybe even 7 inches shorter. So, as you can imagine, I was a pretty hefty kid.
That is a big child.
Yes, and so much so that in 4th grade, I had to wear, when I played football, if you were over 160 pounds, you had to put like a halo around your helmet. And that meant you couldn't run the ball, which fine. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
You know, I was bigger than 160 pounds. So, you know, I couldn't run the football, but I could tackle them. I could do whatever. But if you were over 200 pounds, you couldn't play at all.
Understandably so.
Every single game, the opposing team would pick me, and I would have to go weigh myself in front of the other team's coaches and the referees.
That's awful.
Every single game.
That's awful.
Yes, I was self-aware that
Right.
I was bigger than everyone else. Did I ever think that I would be wrestling with my shirt off in front of thousands of people? No.
You're like, bam, bam, alone.
No, exactly. So, like, you know, same thing, dude. Like, I want these kids to know, like, you know, nothing is too big to go chase after it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if you really want to do something, do it. Buckle
Absolutely.
down, work your ass off, and just do it. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're all going to end up 6 feet under.
Yep.
And so I would rather, when I'm laying on my deathbed, I'd rather go, damn, that was a lot of fun. Like, I'm glad I did everything I could. Instead of going, what if I did this?
I never want to say what if.
I did this, you know?
I made that mistake March 1st. I said, what if? Never again.
You know, I want to cross the T's and dot the I's and do everything, you know, know in my power that I did everything that I could have. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But, you know, I did everything I could. And that's what I want these kids to know. Like, you know, whatever your dream is, whatever it is, pursue it. Go do it. You know, don't be scared. Somebody has to do it. Why not you?
Right, exactly.
You know, like whether you want to be an NBA player, whether you want to be an NFL player, you want to be a professional actress, actor, it doesn't matter. Like they're going to cast somebody for that role.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't it be you?
Right.
So, you know, you just, I don't know, man, life's short. Just chase after everything you can.
Right. And having this connection with the younger generation as someone who's on the lower end of wrestling, air quotes, because, you know, independent, whatever.
Yeah.
Basically starting from the bottom and going up and being able to be that idol, it also gives you an opportunity to not only inspire them to chase their dreams and inspirations, but to also really shine a light on mental health. And what I mean about that is that, you know, back in the day, bullying ran rampant. Like, a lot of the times in some places, if you watch WWE, you were a nerd. If you watched anime, you were a nerd. And then, you know, you're sitting at home and you're bullied and you're like, damn, I'm in this hole all by myself. Let me escape. Let me escape. Wrestling can be an escape for these people. And then when you see these people and you start looking into them and you're like, damn, they were just like me when I was a kid. I can be like that. You can provide a safe space for their mental health. And that is a beautiful thing. As someone who had a very hard time growing up with my mental health, with all the shit I had to go through, I don't want anyone going through that. And so not only do I want to be an inspiration for someone to achieve their dreams, I want to be an inspiration for someone to not give up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't want you to ever think that this is it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't change your outcome of your life. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Because I'm here to say that I did, and so can you.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
not everyone's life story is the same,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to have the same trauma to understand the pain.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even though people are a lot better about bullying these days, it still happens. There are still people struggling with mental health. If anything, it's got even more of a light shined on it because of social media. Whether or not that's good or bad, I don't know, because you hear more about the bad than you do the good.
Yeah.
Which is anything, really, because bad news sells more than good news, unfortunately. But that's just another thing that hits hard, because you want to help these kids, and you can with the path of professional wrestling. But not only that, you have yourself, you have to have a strong mental capacity just to be in this business.
You do. Yeah.
It's like when you were a kid, you had to step on a scale in front of all those people. I distinctly remember in middle school, I was a big child too. And I remember during PE, we had to step on scales in front of everybody. And back then, I didn't really care too much.
Yeah.
Because I didn't listen to what other people did. But when I started getting older, I started opening my ears more. And I'm like, damn, you really think that about me?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress about that. But you have to have good, strong mental capacity to be in this business, dealing with setbacks, injuries, being broke, not making money for the first few years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to survive.
Or just flat out getting told no.
Yeah, you got to be okay with that.
Flat out getting told no, or getting told you're not good enough, and not taking that as a, well, I guess this wasn't meant for me. Taking that as a challenge and going, okay, right now you don't think I'm good enough, but give me a year, motherfucker, and you will.
Uh-huh.
And that's the mental capacity that you have to be. Like, yes, this is very physically tough. Yeah, dude, we're all dealing with something, you know. Like, I made the joke the other day in the locker room. I think it was actually at EPW, but someone came kind of hobbling by, and I was like, dude, you were just out there in the ring and you just killed it. And he was like, yeah, I know, adrenaline's a hell of a thing. And I was like, don't worry, man. I was like, any wrestler that's been doing this for any amount of time that tells you, yeah, I'm 100%, is lying. We are all dealing with some kind of, and it doesn't have to be major. Like, dude, my right elbow, like, bothers the hell out of me some days.
My back hurts right now.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. We're all dealing with something at one point or another, you know.
Yep.
But I will say the mental side of this is so much harder. Like, straight up getting told no, or straight up getting passed up on, and having the ability to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go right back into the fire again. And, you know, I know why so many people don't last. You know, like, in the big scheme of things, you know, I've been doing this for 10 years. How long have you been doing this now? 6. Okay, so, you know, a long time. In the grand scheme, I mean, I know wrestlers that have been doing this for 30, you know, like 30, 35, you know, sometimes even 40 years. So, you know, 6 and 10 years really isn't that long. No, yeah. But do you know how many people I have seen come and gone?
Yeah.
Within the last 5 years?
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. And, like, I don't fault those people for it. Maybe I'm just dumb enough to keep sticking it out and keep going. But I don't know any different, dude. Like, I set my mind to this, and I really want to do it. And, you know, same with you, dude. Injuries and, you know, whatever personal stuff you have going on, we still have a common goal. And, you know, not allowing the outside world to influence that common goal is so hard.
Yeah.
And even, you know, other wrestlers, you know, not allowing them to influence whether you do this or not. Like, dude, I do this because I'm passionate about it and I love it. Would I love to make a couple $1 million one day? Of course, we all would. But at the end of the day, if you don't love this, then you're going to get spit up and chewed out really quick.
And that's why a lot of people I know quit, is because they lose the love for it. And again, you can't fault them for that with all the BS that I hear them going through. And it's just like, dude, I'm never gonna fault you if you wanna leave. I'm never gonna say quit. I'm never gonna say give up.
No.
If you want to leave, that I'm never gonna judge you for that.
No, not at all. And there's been times that I'm like, oh, man, like, what am I doing? Like, is this really what I want to do? You know? And then I know you know the feeling. You go out there and you have a killer match.
Yep.
And you get to the back and you go, I'm the fucking man. I know why I'm doing this. And it all of a sudden, it all makes sense again. Mm-hmm. And now you're right back. Like, this is such an emotional roller coaster that we ride. Like, there's sometimes I think I'm one of the best unsigned talents in the world, and then there's sometimes I'm like, damn, I need to get my ass back in the ring and do some more training, you know? Like, it's just such a mental roller coaster.
That's why it's really good to have an outlet. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you talking about, you know, being stuck, don't know if how your path is going to be. It had me remembering when you asked me to give you a tarot reading.
Yes.
So for those who don't know, I do tarot reading really well.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally ask anyone I've given a reading to, and it's spot on 100% of the time. And
it is. It was. It absolutely was.
And so every now and I'm still learning. It hasn't even been a year since I started this, but I have that natural gift.
Yeah.
And so I still need to practice, and it's good to still practice, just like with wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Still train. And so every now and then I'll post online if I'm in the mood for it and be like, hey, who wants a reading?
Mm-hmm.
And I will actually get people responding. And I had you respond.
Mm-hmm.
I had another wrestler respond, and I had a fan respond.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And so I remember I gave you your reading. And again, I never ask what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a gift. I can read the cards, and then I ask, okay, what is it? What is the situation? And then you tell me, and I'm like, oh. And then we connect the dots, and then we lay out the cards. And it made me laugh whenever that very first card you got, I'll never forget, it was the 10 of Pentacles, which is all about prosperity and family legacies and putting in the work. And I'm like, yeah, you do that. But then you told me you've been doing this for 10 years. And I'm like, there it is.
And it was like, I mean, this was like right at my 10-year, you know, like this was like the week of.
Yep.
And I remember, yeah, you sold that to me, and I was like, dude, I've literally been doing this for 10 years.
Like
yep.
Like, damn, what are the other cards now?
Uh-huh.
Because there was a minute you were a little worried there, whatnot. But again, we talked about it and stuff. And based on what you've been doing here at NWA, it ended exactly how it said it was going to be. It showed that you've been putting in this work. You move forward with your confidence, even though you weren't confident at the time. Like, move forward and straight fast in your confidence, and things will end that need to get pushed out of your life, but it's going to open up these new opportunities for you, which is exactly what happened with NWA. And so I really like how I can help people with that. Yeah. Because yes, I've given bad readings in a sense that it's not what they wanted to hear, but it's what they needed to hear. Yeah. And I'll also never forget literally the very first reading I ever gave someone. It's when I was at the class to learn this. My best friend Destiny's like, hey, do you want to go to a tarot class? And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah,
let's do it.
I've never been interested in it before. And we go. It's literally just me and her. And the lady who's teaching us, her name is Lori Blair. She's out in Terrell. She's still there. She does teach tarot, and she does a lot of spirituality work, and she does a lot of ghost hunting work too. And she gives ghost tours out there, which I highly recommend, by the way, is doing the Tarot Ghost Walk with Lori Blair, because it's amazing. She's so good. And the woman she works with, it's fun. Because I showed you that picture from the Ghost Walk I did. Yep. But we go to the class. She's teaching us all this stuff. And there's 78 cards in that deck that you have to digest. You have to break it apart. You have to learn each card. And then you have to intuitively feel what the message is through each card. And so we're shuffling, we're throwing out stuff, blah, blah, blah. This girl comes in, and because we were meeting up for a party later, and so this is one of Destiny's friends. She comes in, she's sitting across from me. And then our other two friends that we've known for 15 years is sitting across from us. And the girl's like, give me a reading. And I'm like, all right. So I'm shuffling cards, and cards are flying out at me. So I'm laying them out. And I'm looking at this, and the first card that was there was the Hermit, and which is all about solidarity and being alone. Not that you are going to be alone for the rest of your life, but like you need to take this time to inward reflect and like be by yourself. And she got so mad when she saw that card because apparently she was thinking about pursuing a relationship with a guy. And the Hermit is the first card that comes out, and she's like, I'm going to be alone with cats. And I'm like, first off, what's wrong with cats? Second, no, that's not what this is. This is saying take time for yourself and like be alone to know what you truly want. Did she do it? No. She immediately went into a relationship and she immediately regretted it. And I'm like, I'm over here just like, fucking told you so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love doing tarot readings. I never charge people for it because I mean, if you want to give me something or if you want to trade, if you want to leave me a tip, I don't care, do it. But I'm never going to ask for money to do that because it's a gift and I feel really awkward. Like I have been blessed with an ability to help people and do these readings. I don't want to make money from it.
Yeah,
like,
I get that.
It's just, it's icky. It's icky to me.
I understand that. Yeah.
And so I really do enjoy giving the tarot readings online, which is, it's weird to do, but I do it pretty well.
Yeah.
And it's something that's really fun to do.
Yeah, no, I was definitely blown away when you did mine. It was really cool. I enjoyed it. I wasn't real sure what to expect. I've never had one before. But yeah, it was definitely super cool.
So if you're interested in that, DM me on Instagram, the Evelyn Carter, and I will give you a reading for $39.95. Just kidding. Madam Zeroni.
3 installments of $19.95.
But that's one way that I mentally decompress.
Yeah.
Is if I'm feeling a certain funky way, I'll do a reading or whatever. Or just for funsies, I'll be like, what can I expect at this show? How should I compose myself at this show? Or what should I do? And it's never set me wrong. I'll tell you this story happened about a month ago. Yeah. So there was a seminar coming to Paris, Texas under SOAR, and it was Jamie Noble.
Ooh.
And so I'm
God,
like,
he is so good, dude.
yeah. And so I'm like, I'm not missing this. Was it a scout? No. But it's Jamie freaking Noble.
Yeah.
He's got, if he likes what you do, and you have the perfect opportunity to pick the brain of someone who is currently working in the E, doing things that you need to start impressing them with.
Yeah.
And because he's responsible for a lot of the back end stuff when it comes to like bringing people on and writing them in. And I went into this knowing this is not a scouting opportunity, but I'll be damned if I'm not going to put myself in front of this man. And so the days leading up to it, there weren't any other females that were going to be there. So I'm like, shit, if I'm going to have a match, if I'm going to have a practice match, I need to have another woman there. I love intergender wrestling, but I knew that wasn't going to impress him.
Yeah.
And so the woman that I was wrestling that night, Reza Clark, I know her through MPX. I've worked her a couple times. I asked her, I'm like, hey, are you going to the seminar? And she said, no, she couldn't swing the money at the time. It was like $100. And I shit you not, the night before, I did a tarot reading. I was like, what can I expect in this weekend? And it said for me to take the opportunity to be generous. And so I was like, I don't know how the hell that plays into this, but I got you. And as soon as she said that, that flicked in my mind. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I got you. I'll pay for you. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So she comes out and we end up putting on a 5-minute match for Jamie Noble. He ended up being, I don't know why I say his full name, but he ended up being an hour late and he felt really bad for it. So he's actually going to come back and like not charge us for it.
Nice.
Which is really sweet of him.
Yeah.
But we had it split up.
I guess just like flight delays. And,
yeah.
He can't control that, dude. No.
But he didn't have to offer to come back.
Yeah.
But he did. That just shows you his character. And so it was split up into 2 groups. People would put on a 5-minute match, and then you had a group that would work out with him. And so that was more of the seminar aspect of it.
Okay.
So Reza and we go get ready in the back, and we had to put on our full gear. Guys, it's easy. It's freaking pants.
Yeah.
Girls, we got to put on our fishnets and our tights and our makeup.
Everything.
I was like, I'm not putting on the makeup right now. I'm just going to put the gear on.
Yeah.
And so we were running super late already because he was late, and then the seminar just went over because, you start talking and stuff. Next thing you know, time flies. We know this from fact.
Yeah.
And so we had like 8 matches that he was supposed to look at. Only got to do 3. And the first one was Rache Chanel and Alexander Anderson, and again, intergender, because I didn't know Rache was going to be there. That was not to my knowledge. And so she puts on a match with him. It was good. Rache is amazing. I love her. Oh my God. And then you had Dante Smiley and AJ, and they had their match. And then me and Riza were the last ones to go up there. First thing I hear, come out, oh, I like that. Damn, that's good gear. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So, as soon as I hit that ring, I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
I'm immediately crawling, sliding. I'm in it.
Yeah.
Nobody was ready for it. And it always catches off my opponents by surprise. And Riza has wrestled me as crazy before, but it still catches her by surprise. And so I slide in, I face her, and I got that smile on. And she's like, oh, hell no. Oh, God. Okay. Whatever. And so we put on a 5-minute banger.
Good.
Best storytelling ever. And it was flowing. We were in it. We're like, yeah. It was so good. And then we end up getting called early. Like, they ring the bell. She just gave me a sidewalk slam. We were literally 10 seconds away from the ending. And the bell rang. And so she's on top of me. She's looking at me. She's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. And so we're like so confused. And apparently they wanted to try and make an example of it by saying it went over time. Anyway, and so, but you want to talk about instant karma? As soon as that bell rang, Jamie said, why'd they stop? I wanted to see how this ends. Bro, to get that compliment.
So who rang the bell?
I think it was Mo. Bobby. And so I was just hella confused. And like,
so Jamie is running a seminar. And Mo decides to make an example out of you in the middle of Jamie's seminar.
Only me. Only mine. That was the beginning of my villain arc, because everything started falling into place. But anyway, and so he loved it.
Yeah,
he loved the match, and I'm over here I'm trying not to smile ear to ear.
Yeah.
Riza's trying not to smile ear to ear. We're just like, because he was legit. He got in the ring. He's like, I've got no critiques for that except maybe the kick out needed to look a little stronger, but like that was good. Yeah. And so me and Riza go in the back, and we're just like, high five.
Yeah, we did it, dude.
We did it, man. Like, that was the most excited out of all 3 matches he was. And I'm just like, I'm going to ride this to the grave, because that was validation that I'm not trash.
Yeah.
And it was only 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that's all you need. You don't have
That's all you need. Yeah. And we didn't do crazy shit. The craziest thing we did was we were about to make it look like we did a superplex. I headbutted her ass. She fell down. I gave her a frog splash. That was the biggest thing we did.
Yeah.
Everything else was character driven and just make it make sense, brother. But God, I love that. That was my ride home moment. That was my moment of the year. That really got me in a good place mentally. Yeah. But to think that I did that tarot reading the night before that told me to be generous, and then I took it upon that to be generous. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have had that banger in front of him. Yeah. So it's like, dang, all right, universe, looking out.
Yeah, and now like you know, now he knows who you are. Right. And, and the next time, if you haven't already, next time he comes, get his email or something,
I'm definitely going to talk to him a lot more. Yeah. Especially because he'll be there more. Yeah. And he'll have more time.
He won't be running an hour late from travel and everything. So.
And like, I know I won't have the pressures of putting on another 5-minute match with him because he's already seen it. So want to give everyone else the chance to do it. Yeah. So if anything, I think I'll just do the workout with him. So he can see other things. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. I'm very much looking forward to it. I have no idea when it's going to happen. Yeah. But if you're interested in going, I'll let you know when it does. Okay. But no, I like, you got to have a way to mentally decompress from the highs and lows and the emotions and the dynamics of having to work this game. Oh gosh.
And it is. I mean, this is such a cutthroat business.
So
like, I have my core people that I really, really trust. And, outside of that, you're kind of an acquaintance. And, until someone proves that I can really, really trust them. Yep. Or, whether they go to bat for me or I go to bat for them and they see it. And, like you can, I'm a pretty good judge of character. And, I've been around some people in some locker rooms that I'm just like, nope, there's just something about you I'm not vibing with. Nope. And they could be super friendly to my face, but something's telling me that as soon as I turn my back, it's a complete flip. So
that's why I'm always just super nice no matter what. I'm
Yeah.
not the best judge of character right off the rip. Ryan is.
Yeah.
Which I'm very impressed. But I'm not the best judge of character right off the rip because I never want to go in with assumptions. I always want to give someone a chance.
Yeah.
And honestly, like meeting someone for the first time versus meeting them for the 5th time could be totally different.
True.
Like the first time I met Maya World, I didn't have the best reactions with her. It just the way she talks and wrestles, and like I'm autistic. I'm on the spectrum, so like she said certain things that I'm like, it rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
But then next thing you know, like me and her, we're good.
Cool.
Like
Yeah.
we love each other. Like she's so nice, and like now that I got to know her better, so I never try to like judge people off the rip. But it does take a good amount of proving to get in my circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't go through life being a dick. And so I would hope that other people don't want to. That's why I'm always super freaking nice. It's just, I want to have that reputation of being a good person. And I feel like I have built that because I'm at this point now where I meet people that I'm going to work and they're like, yeah, I've heard of you. Like, and I've been wanting to meet you. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. And like, I mean, I take pride in like, I've never had heat with anyone, like I'm here professionally. I'm not here to cause drama. I'm not here to, like this is work.
Yeah.
Like I'm not here to ruin, be a mess in the back or, be messy and sleep around with everyone. Like, no, dude, that's not my thing. Like I am here to wrestle and I am here to work, and so I pride myself. Like, yeah, dude, I never had heat with anyone. There was one gentleman in Memphis, but I'll tell you that one off the record. But
damn, dude, off the record, I'm over here burying my soul.
Well, dude, okay, well let me rephrase this. I've never had heat with anyone that matters. So you take that how you want.
I understand that. Okay, so to wrap up today's episode, I wanted to end this on a light note. And so in the previous episode, we talked about kids taking advantage of Chat GPT and all this stuff. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to take advantage of Chat GPT. And I said, Chat, build me a card and a match for the night.
Ooh.
Let's get funny.
Okay.
So this is what it came up with. The event name is Wrestle Chaos Night of Reckoning. Location, Dallas, Texas. Date, August 17th, 2025. So we can make this happen.
Okay, let me make sure I'm not booked.
So we're going to start with the opening match. Opening match, Pure Wrestling Classic. The Technician, Eli Matthews versus Rafael Vega. I don't know if these people are real. Like, I don't know.
Oh, gosh. Okay, I don't know.
It'll be a classic technical bout between two of the best mat wrestlers in the world. Like, all right, that's a good opener.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Women's Division Showcase match. Luna Graves versus Selena Rain versus Madison Storm. These are all cool names. What the hell? A triple threat match featuring 3 of the top rising stars in women's wrestling. All right, this already sounds expensive. Match number 3. We've got Cruiserweight Championship Fatal 4-Way.
Okay.
Jaden Cross, the current champion, versus Arrow versus Kid Lightning versus Zane Vortex. Okay, there it is. There's the indie shit.
Zane Vortex.
A high-flying spectacle where the fastest and most daring competitor walks away champion. Bro, okay, now I know why people use ChatGPT.
It just booked an entire show for us.
Oh my God. And what's funny is that I use ChatGPT to help design some of my stuff to give me like some creative juice flowing.
Yeah.
And so it already knows who the Dark Trinity is. And so this is starting to get a little twisted now that I'm reading it. The next match is a 6-man tag team match. The Prophets, which is someone we just recently faced, the Dark Trinity faced.
Okay.
Versus the Black Order, Grim, Dagger, and Shade.
Grim, Dagger, and Shade. The Dark Order.
2 of the darkest factions collide in a battle for dominance. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh, Death match.
Oh,
Gotta have a
gotta
death
have
match.
at least one.
Hardcore championship. Carnage with a K.
Oh, now that's how you know he's tough when he.
Okay, you've got Carnage, their current champion, versus
with a K.
With a K, with Psycho Sam Steele.
Psycho with a C.
Psycho
with an S.
Properly spelled. Carnage has dominated the hardcore division, but Sam Steele is unpredictable, violent, and maybe even crazier than Carnage himself. Hey, that's me, bro. Don't be cheating. Don't be copying off of my stuff.
Gimmick infringement.
Okay, we got Intercontinental Championship match. Ooh, it's a women's match.
Oh.
You got Misty Marks. Okay, we got someone real.
Okay, there we go. Misty Marks.
Misty Marks versus CC Rain. Okay, so CC is a girl that I've been teaching. She's a little part of the Dark Trinity that we got going. She's so new. So her versus CC's funny. After CC Rain's shocking transformation, she wants to prove that she's more than just a former fan favorite. She's a real threat to Misty's title reign.
Ooh, better watch your back, Misty.
Oh, yeah, we've got a no holds barred.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. It's Papa Saint from the Dark Trinity.
Okay.
Papa Saint versus the Apex Predator, Drake Maddox.
Drake Maddox. Okay.
I got to Google and make sure these people aren't real.
I know Apex Predator is Orton.
Right? Drake Maddox disrespected Papa Saint's rituals, and now he must answer for it in a match where anything goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Uh-huh.
Of course, TLC. Oh, God. Why am I in it?
Oh, no.
The Dark Trinities, Evelyn Carter and Prince Amari versus the Outlaws, Jax Briggs and Cole Riker. The current champions. The Dark Trinity wants to bring darkness over the tag division, but the high-flying, hard-hitting Outlaws won't go down without a fight.
The high-flying,
Bro,
hard-hitting Outlaws.
I don't want to do a TLC match. Bro, this is getting more expensive.
Have you ever been involved in a ladder match?
Nope.
They're fun. They are a lot of
Fun
fun.
fact.
Multi-man. I don't know. One-on-one's fun, but multi-mans are fun too.
I'm starting to like multi-mans more.
You kind of just have to remember your spots.
It's so much easier.
And then you kind of just have like maybe one or two crazy things you have to do, not an entire match full of them.
Absolutely. It's so much easier on the body.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God. But actually, fun fact, I'm not afraid of heights, but I am terrified of ladders.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Terrified of ladders.
You got a little black cat in you, don't you?
Probably. Probably. Okay, now we're at the main event, the World Championship match. It's a steel cage match.
Oh, let's hear it.
The Reaper champion versus Johnny Havoc. After months of mind games and brutal attacks, Johnny Havoc finally gets his shot at the Reaper inside of the steel cage. No escape, no interference, just a fight to the finish.
Oh, man. ChatGPT never lets you down.
I guess not.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, this is good.
Yeah.
That's
what was the pay-per-view name?
Wrestle Chaos Night of Reckoning.
Now, is it Chaos with a K?
That was awful. I really got to go Google and make sure these people aren't real because I'm going to feel bad.
I know. We just buried all of them, too.
We did. Well, I hope you all enjoyed listening to this. I don't know. I might use ChatGPT for more funny shit like this. That was great. But once again, you got After the 3 Count here at TexTv Studios here at the OC in Forney, Texas. You got Bam Bam Malone, Chase. Make sure you follow him on Instagram at Bam Bam Malone 27.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's your Instagram handle. And then you got Ashley here, the Evelyn Carter, little psycho. You can follow me at the Evelyn Carter as well on Instagram. Again, reach out to us, guys. Like we want you to be involved. Yeah. Like we will answer your questions. And actually, now that I think about it, Omega, I am so sorry. You know what? We got 10 minutes. Okay. Omega actually asked us a question. What's the hardest bump you ever took?
Oh, man. Shane Taylor gave me a body slam on the floor at an ROH taping once. And it was matted. So I thought it would be fine. But we had just caught Keith Lee. So Keith did a dive over the top. We caught him. And then Shane came to pick me up. And, dude, that body slam on that floor hurt so bad. And it was a bump that I didn't think was going to be bad. So it caught me off guard with how bad it was. Like, I know you've probably prepared for something like, oh, this is going to suck. And then when you hit, you're like, oh, okay.
Right.
That wasn't that bad. But this one, I just went into it Nope, it was brutal.
Oh God, it's always the easiest shit too. The worst bump I ever took was one of my first matches I ever did. I was a valet at the time, and Erica Torres. I'm standing on the apron arguing with the ref. Erica Torres comes in, leg sweeps me, and I bump that apron. And I'm dramatic as hell, so I ate that. I immediately regretted it.
Yep.
I immediately rolled over face bump on the floor, which was a lot easier than taking the damn bump.
Yep.
And I'm laying there like, no, not doing it again. But yeah, that was my worst bump. Anyway, so answered that question for you.
We got you, Omega.
We got you. But yeah, go ahead, answer. Submit your questions. We wanna get y'all involved. I really want to start bringing guests on here, but
yeah.
Once again, you got Chase and Ashley after the 3 count here at TexTv Studios at the OC, and we will see you next time.
Peace.